This is a review of the concept of a projection vector. We're going to work in R2 or in two-dimensional space, but projections work the same in three-dimensional space. It's just much easier to draw a vector in two-dimensional space. So let's consider some vector off here in the first quadrant, and some other vector, we'll call it B, somewhere else. And in order to determine the vector projection of B onto A, we're going to envision kind of a light that is shining down onto the terminal tip, onto the terminal point, the tip of the vector B. And it's going to cast a shadow down onto vector A. The shadow that is being cast is the projection vector. So let's drop a perpendicular from that terminal point down to vector A, and our shadow vector, or the projection vector, is going to reach to the end of that perpendicular. So this vector is considered to be the projection of B onto A, and the one that we're projecting onto is written as a subscript. Now, the component of B along A is basically the magnitude of that projection vector, right? The component is going to be a scalar quantity, not a vector, and the component is simply the magnitude of the projection vector. Now, the projection vector is a vector, but the component is a scalar. Now, the component is actually assigned magnitude of the projection vector, meaning that the component of B along A can be positive or negative, which kind of goes against what we were thinking in trigonometry. If the two vectors have an angle in between, if the angle in between the two vectors is less than 90 degrees, then we're going to have a component that is a positive value. Basically, the two vectors are heading in the same-ish direction. But if the vector or the angle in between the two vectors is greater than 90 degrees, then we're going to say we have a negative component, right? The negative, if we get a negative component, that's an indication that the angle in between the two vectors is greater than 90 degrees. So in our drawing here, the angle in between the two vectors is less than 90 degrees, so we would get the component of B along A as being a positive value. But if our vector B was, say, out here, the projection would still be casting a shadow down onto the tip of B. But since A isn't in this direction, we would have to kind of extend it as if it were a floor. We're going to be projecting onto the floor of A. We're still going to be dropping a perpendicular down, but the projection vector this time is going to be headed in the opposite direction of A, right? This is still the projection of B onto A, but since it's in the direction that's opposite A, we would end up with a component of B onto A that is a negative quantity. And again, the component is the magnitude of this vector, the length of that projection vector. But if it turns out to be a negative quantity, we know that that projection must have been in the opposite direction of A. So the component of our projection vector can be either positive or negative, and that just tells me about where that projection vector is headed. Is it along A or is it in the opposite direction of A? Now we will see in the next video a derivation for the formula that will enable us to determine the projection vector. That is this formula here. And let's notice that in the formula that has yet to be proven or derived, we have a large and terrible looking scalar quantity, right? This is all a scalar quantity because we have A dot B in the top, which is a scalar, and we have the magnitude of A in the bottom. That's also a scalar quantity that is going to be squared. So all of this together is a terrible looking scalar quantity that I will then stretch out my vector A by, right? So that makes sense that the projection is going to either be adjusting the size of A in the same direction of A, or perhaps flipping it over in the opposite direction and stretching it or shrinking it. But it's in basically the same direction as A. It's going to be parallel to A, right? Either in the same direction or in the opposite direction. So it makes sense that it would be some scalar multiple of our A vector. If that scalar multiple is a positive quantity, we're going to be in the same direction as the A vector. If our scalar multiple is a negative quantity, we're going to be in the opposite direction of our vector A. If that scalar multiple is 0, then that means that the two vectors must have been perpendicular to each other. Now check it out. If we have this scalar being equal to 0, it's because the scalar multiple is 0. Well, that tracks with what we learned before, because the fraction would be 0 if and only if the numerator is 0, and we know that if the dot product between two vectors is 0, that means that those two vectors are going to be perpendicular to each other. So if the magnitude of the projection vector is 0, it's because this scalar is 0, is because the dot product is 0, and that means that the two vectors must have been perpendicular. So coming back up here to our drawing, if the two vectors are perpendicular to each other and we were to shine a light down onto the tip of B so that it casts the shadow down onto A, if they're perpendicular, there isn't going to be a shadow, so there isn't going to be a projection vector. Well, I guess we should say that the projection of B onto A is just the 0 vector. It is a vector with no magnitude, which means that the component of B onto A is equal to a 0, but this is a 0 scalar, meaning that it has a magnitude of 0. The projection, of course, is a 0 vector, indicated and differentiated because that one has the hat. The vector hats are very important to discuss and to make sure that you understand the difference between who is a vector and who is a scalar.